Do that.
Boom.
Boom. Just like that.
Look at that. We already got Jarrell, number one guy in here. First one.
Oh,
Like just like that.
Welcome in. Ed, what have you been getting up to today, man?
Oh man. All types of stuff, man. It's been a busy day, man. Been working on a few deals we got, man, solving all types of problems. It's been all types of crap going on with a bunch of deals or whatever, but we doing it every day, It's a
Dude,
lot of
it's
work,
a
man, for
start of
real.
year stuff. I feel like my start of years are always so overloaded with meetings. I was telling this to Steve the other day. It's like every single day I'm in quarterly vision, annual vision meetings for marketing, for sales, for our affiliate team, every single department of the company. It's like a billion meetings. It's going to be nice to just get out of the beginning of the year, coasting
Yeah,
mode,
right.
having everything going.
Yeah,
How about you,
right.
Steve? You selling any deals yesterday?
oh yeah, dude. Yeah, we've got well, I think this one we're gonna sell today. For
Oh,
sure. I
snaps.
got a assignment coming in on another one, and then we sold one yesterday. I'm working on pushing a bunch of closings, man. That's the thing.
Hmm.
The fire, putting out those fires there as far as that goes. Coordinating the buyers, making sure they're ready to go for tomorrow, next day, stuff like that. So
Boom.
yeah, it's
That's the hardest part of the process.
yeah,
Oh,
because I also
snaps.
do like I help out with like not really like TC stuff, but like title and then like making sure that everything's clear and all expectations are met from the buyer and the seller both. So I'm
Okay,
doing
got it.
everything.
Making sure the money's coming in.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Boom.
That's 100%
Yep.
the goal, man. Like I tell them, you make your money when you buy it. It's my job to collect it. So that's what
Hmm.
I'm doing,
That's
man.
it. Yeah.
Hmm.
Sometimes you
That's a
got to be
fact.
out there playing debt collector. You got everything lined up as it should be, and then there's just nothing else to do besides make sure everybody's got their shoes tied, they've got their lunch bags packed, they're getting on the school bus in the morning. It's
Oh, dude, yeah.
making sure they're doing all the little things. Dude,
Hmm.
everybody here who's popping in from Ed's side of things, you guys just post in the chat. I want to know where you guys are from, how business is treating you this year. Um,
Boom.
we're not going to have a massive, gigantic crowd today, so we're going to be able to answer a lot of questions from you guys. To give you guys a little bit of a rundown of who I am. My name is Liam. I work with Investorlift. I'm also a wholesaler myself. I've got an operation out. It's called Midwest, or it's called Heartland House Partners. We operate out in the Midwest. Um, we do 8 or 9 deals a month. So not a tiny operation, not the biggest operation, and we got it really streamlined. So that's my expertise. And then Steve, man,
Boom.
tell them about yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Steve Francis. I've been in the real estate game for going on 5 years. Started off with a flipping company, just acquiring direct with those guys. Got into wholesaling probably in 2020 with HBHS. So I started off in the acquisitions team and moved into Dispo about almost 2 years ago, I'd say. So we've been rocking and rolling, man, ever since. Just building that skill set and closing deals left and right.
I
Boom.
guess Steve is not talking himself up enough. So in 2023, we're holding something called the Closers Olympics. I'm sure most of you guys have heard about it. It is the bona fide competition for the best closers in all of real estate to go head to head. And so this year we did something a little bit different. This year we held something called Dispo Day. And in Dispo Day, we had all the best Dispo closers in the entire space battle it out head to head, trying to sell deals live. Before, it was only on the acquisition side trying to get contracts locked up. So we switched it up. We added in the Dispo Day, and we really had no idea what to expect. We're like, this could be a make or break moment. This could be something that's the most boring piece of content in the whole world, or it's going to be something that is explosive, game changing, something that shows people exactly how the rest of the game is done. Because the thing is, right, at the end of your acquisitions close, you get pen on paper. It's 5 cents of ink. But at the end of your dispo close, it's like a $5,000 EMD coming to your bank account or coming
Mhm.
to title. Like that's a different type of close right there. It takes a different type of person to do that. So Steve hops in, and I hadn't had the pleasure of meeting Steve yet. He blew everybody away. He blew everybody away. For the entire Dispo day, I think it was something like $136,000 got closed for the entire day out of all the contestants. 90,000 of that came from Steve
Hmm.
in 45 minutes. 45 minutes on the phone. I think he sold 2 deals way above whatever we thought they were going to sell for. Just phenomenal. So Steve he holds the belt for being the best dispo closer in all the real estate space. So this is
Ooh, the
this is a
GOAT.
cool moment. The GOAT right there.
We got the GOAT in the building, y'all. It's about to go down. I see we got some people popping into here as well. Israel, Jarrell, I see. I think we got Mike out here and Will. Salute to y'all. Yeah, y'all should drop some comments down below if y'all have the ability to. Definitely drop some comments. Let the community know where y'all from and whatnot. Okay, look, I see Will's dropping some questions in there right now. Look at that. Okay, perfect. So, man,
We got a
I'm
Q&A
looking forward.
feature. I see it.
Nice.
This is gonna be perfect for Steve. And so, by the way, just so you guys know what the format is we have a deal that we're gonna be selling live. And so Steve is gonna be working on that. He's gonna be on the phone with buyers, doing what he does, and then Ed and I are just gonna be facilitating your guys' questions and doing the best we can to make sure you guys get some value out of this. So,
Boom.
Will asked, answer live. What does that do? I thought I was going to bring it up. It didn't. But Will asked, do you prefer to talk and build a relationship with the buyer before you send them a deal, like reverse wholesaling, or is it better to try and sell them a deal your first time talking with them?
Cool. So for this one, both.
That's a good question.
Right. So it's a great question. And I think if you really do it the right way, you kind of really revolutionize your wholesaling operation, right? So you got to think at the beginning, you don't have a big buyers list, what have you, things like that. I mean, you get the deal first, right? For the most part. And you want to lead with that value. Because I've had it to where like a lot of people will go and they'll ask like buyers like, hey, what are you looking for? But they don't have anything to provide them at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You're really kind of at that point wasting their time. You know what I mean? So if you have a deal and you send it to as many buyers as you can, then you start building the relationship like that. You lead with value. You know what I mean? Hey, I've got something that I think you might be able to make some money on. Take a look at it, what's going on. And then from there, they're going to provide you that feedback and always take notes on that. So like for this deal, for example, I've got a whole bunch of inquiries. I got a couple offers on it already. So I'm going to talk to everybody, right? Maybe not get to them all here, but I'm gonna talk to everybody because at the end of the day, there's only one person that's going to get this deal. You know what I mean? But out of the 20, 30 people that wanted it, that information is super valuable, right? So what are they looking for? Who out of this is a wholesaler that is just trying to JV my deal? You know what I mean?
Right.
And then how do you respond to that question? Or how do you get the most out of that type of relationship? Because to be honest, like they're good people to build relationships too sometimes. You know what I mean? And you'll vet out the ones that may not be, you know what I mean? But I'd say both, right? So once, let's say you get into a new market, you start having these conversations with these people, and then you got a list of people that you've already spoken to, you know what their buy box is, you vetted them, making sure they're an actual buyer or not. And then you have a list of actual buyers in the area, what they're looking for. And then if you want to, again, depending on what you're doing, if you want to point your what you got, like marketing dollars into getting deals like that, then great, right? But if not, the next time you get a deal, you've now got 5, 6 people to shoot it to prior to even posting it or blasting it. And you can build urgency within that by saying, hey, I want to reward you by being, a very responsive and good buyer and get this to you before anybody else gets it. I'm blasting this thing out tomorrow. If you can give me an acceptable offer by today, it's yours. You know what I'm saying? So you build that urgency. You're building while you're doing the business though.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect answer.
Question.
Yeah.
Lead with value. If you're just calling people, you don't have something to sell them.
Right.
Well,
It's gonna make it a lot harder than what it has to be. Let's put it like that or whatever. It's just like an additional step in the process. I did used to tell people that back in the past or whatever, like, hey, this is something that you can have going on or whatever. But as like the deal, like the amount of deals available right now is not like a ton of just deals everywhere and stuff like that. It's got to make sense financially with the interest rates being higher and things like that and whatnot, and price points just going up. It's got to make sense. So it's like, if you've actually got a deal, that's when you should be presenting it to these buyers. And like Steve was saying, you got to create that urgency. It's a lot of different factors that goes into actually like the psychology of the deal, of like selling the deal. So I'm pretty
I think the other thing too is it's one of those things that can just kind of turn into busy work. Like it makes you feel like you're being progressive, you're getting shit done, you're having all these calls to buyers, but you're really not doing anything because you're no closer to having a deal. At the end of the day, that thing that's going to get you the money is you do have to have that product to sell first. You got to get that contract signed. That is the step one, and that's going to take a lot of effort. And then people can just commit themselves to calling to all these buyers, trying to get this list built up, and then it's like, well, I haven't made any money off of days of work, but I feel like I'm doing something. And then it's just kind of leading you astray. So that's my advice.
Absolutely.
But Steve, if you want to start diving into this deal, man.
Yeah, let's get into it. Cool. So the deal that I have right now, I blasted it out, reblasted a little bit ago. So this one was a price reduced, just so everybody knows we're transparent here. This is a price reduced. So I reduced the price by like 10 grand to get some more traction on it. It's a killer deal out in the Dallas market. ARV, I've got two comps. One of them's 440,000. One of them's right at 660. So that little subdivision has a pretty broad range, but the floor seems to be in the mid 400s. So this is a 3-2, 2761 square feet. It's a pretty big house on a 0.18 acre lot. Yeah, great deal. On this one, there is some foundation stuff. So one thing that I will tell you guys, like, learn as much as you can about the deal before you start pushing it out. Because again, you want to try to build that urgency, right? If you can answer the questions live on the phone that these people are asking, and we'll see today, there may be some questions that I don't know. But if you can get as much as possible on this one, I know that it's got a metal roof that's 3 years old. I know the AC system's within 5 years, right? I know that, and those are main things that people are going to ask, right? So rather than, hey, I'm going to ask you this question as a buyer, and I'm going to say, well, hold on, let me get you that information. If you have it up front, you can push that urgency that much quicker, right? So I know that those things. Another thing is transparency is key with these guys, right? So this one, I call it the Chewy special. The guy did the foundation, but he had his cousin do it who works for a foundation company. So there's no warranty on the foundation. I know that they didn't do a static test because we asked that. That's important too for the plumbing portion of it. So those are some things we're contending with, on this one. But all in all, great deal. So you can get a move today. So I'm going to get right into a couple calls. So we've got quite a few people that did some inquiries. So that's typically where I'll go first. I do have some offers on this. Again, so some backup stuff. I do have some offers. I've got one at 215, which is way too damn low. So I do want to get a hold of that guy so you can hear that conversation. We're offering it at 270. I've got a.
So how are you facilitating these offers? Where are you getting them?
So this is straight from Investorlift, right? So yeah. These guys have done an offer through Investorlift. So I'm looking at that. Going through that data first. Now, a lot of people would maybe start with the offers. I always choose to kind of start with the inquiry so I can leverage the offers that I already have. Hey, we already got a couple offers on this one. Like, I want you know what I'm saying? So you can build some urgency in it. You know what I mean?
I like that.
The guys that made the offer, they already made the offer, right?
They're the easiest ones.
Yeah, it's a layup. So and it's hard because when you have it, you're like, oh, maybe I can do this. Like, you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot. So maybe someone out there could do, a little bit higher. You know what I mean? So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna shoot.
These are type A people. They're competitive. Like you want to get them to get their competitive spirit, which is one thing that you mentioned earlier. Knowing stuff about your deal that cannot be understated. You have to know about your deal because this isn't like talking to sellers where it's more of an emotional feels close. This is something, it's a business to business transaction. These people are sharp. They're on the ball. They don't want their time wasted. They think they think they're the shit. If you're coming in just waffling on about something you don't know anything about, they will sense it immediately. They will lose confidence and trust in you. And like this person is you're trying to get this person to buy a Ferrari from you, a multiple $100,000 purchase. Like this is what you want them to do. So you have to show that you're on the ball, which means you got to know about the deal. I was out with the largest single family landowner in Phoenix. His name is Zach Keeps. And he buys houses off Investorlift, and he's getting calls all day long from people trying to sell him deals. And the one thing he said that will make him decide whether or not he will ever do a deal with somebody is if he's asking them questions. If they say, I'll get back to you on that, or I don't know, cool. Fuck off. I don't care. I just I'm going to work on the deal that the people know about, because then I feel like I'll be treated better throughout the process. So that's like the single most important thing you can do is just know about the deal.
Right. And we did to that point last week. I sold the deal, $18,000 assignment fee, sight unseen. And what the buyer told, it was a buyer that we knew. So back to the relationship thing, I've created a relationship with this guy, and I told him, like, again, you want to fill out your buyer. So there are some guys like that that'll be like, oh, you want to get back with me? Like, fuck off, I'm done, right? And that's cool. Like, I get that. But there's some that like respect the fact that if you do say that you don't, you know what I'm saying? So this guy, he actually was like, cool, I trust you. I know that you're going to tell me exactly what you know about the deal. And if there's any missing details for whatever reason, then like, that's cool. I'll go walk the property real quick. He drove by it, walked, it was vacant, right? And he couldn't get in at that point because we were still trying to get the keys. But I told him, like, once we get the keys, dude, like, floodgates open, dude. Everybody can go in and look at this thing. So he went and looked through the windows and was like, based on what you're telling me, dude, let's do it right now. Like, I drove to his office and he had an earnest money check waiting for me. So picked it up, boom, we're good. 18 grand right then and there. You know what I mean?
When I saw you in September, dude, you were at an event.
Yeah.
And you had some buyer come out, or was it a seller to come out to sign a contract there?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was so we were doing a wholesaling live, and we had a lot to do because I was also like kind of speaking at the event too. So
Yep.
a lot going on, and I was like, nah, dude, I need to get this deal done. So I had them come to wholesaling live. We gave them free tickets to the event and told them like, hey, yeah, come hang out. Like, you know, if you do the deal, whatever. They brought up $5,000 earnest money check then and there. We did the assignment pen to paper live. Like, it was pretty cool. But I mean, you got to build the urgency, man. And like, I'm here to get the money. So.
Hey,
Like it. All right, dude, let's dive into some calls. Let's hear it.
All right, we got it. All right, so first one, let's see what's up. See if she answers.
That's good stuff, man. That's good stuff.
Y'all hear that all right? Y'all good on that?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, I think so. This is gonna be good.
This is always the moment of truth.
I know,
Waiting
right?
for the phone to ring.
Cool. Nothing on this. All right. What I do when this happens is almost the exact same thing I did on the acquisition side. I'm gonna text her real quick. Hey, this is Steve. So hey, this is Steve reaching out about the deal in Dallas. Give me a call ASAP. Sweet. Hey, this is Steve reaching out about the deal in Dallas. Give me a call ASAP. The reason why I dropped my name in there is because this is a sideline for me. I make a shit ton of calls that don't get connected. So sometimes the providers put me as spam. But if she has an iPhone and I put this is Steve, next time I call her, it might say maybe Steve. You know what I mean? So it's a different little. Sorry.
That's smart. I like that. Game in the
Look at
system.
that.
Brilliant.
Right.
Little
So
pro
then
tips.
it'll help them, answer hopefully. So let's call it one more time, then we'll move on to the next after that.
Okay, give them a double down.
Yep.
All right, can they hear us?
Earlier, Israel
Now, think
Gonzalez had a
about
good question. He said, how much time and effort should I spend on building my cash buyers list through social medias, especially Facebook groups, and posting on IG? If you have a deal, the name of the game is just eyeballs. How many eyeballs can we get in front of? How many inquiries can I get on it? So then you should put a lot of effort into it once you have that deal. An important note is that once you have that deal and you're trying to market it, don't start slacking on your acquisitions operations. I've seen a lot of people do that as they're trying to start to scale their business. They enter the cycle of they get a deal, they put all the effort into dispoing it, and then they have nothing. And then it's just up and down like this, and it never gets consistent going up. So don't put too much effort into it that you're taking it away from the front end of your business. But put in enough effort that you get the fucking thing sold. That's the idea. But otherwise, I wouldn't really just sit there day in, day out, passively just trying to find buyers, put them on a spreadsheet somewhere. There's higher leverage uses of your time.
Please give me a message after the beep. Thank you.
Boom, 100%. Can't get that tunnel vision. And say the mailbox is full.
Yeah, that's how you know someone goes through this a lot, man. Box is full. Somebody did the same thing.
I was gonna say, Steve, can they hear us? Because
yeah. So what I'm doing is I'll as soon as when it's ringing, I'll do my volume down a little bit so where I can kind of still hear.
Okay,
we'll figure it out. Sure. We roll with it as we're going, man.
Okay. But yeah, I totally agree.
I use RJ Bates Sorry, go ahead, Ed.
Oh no, I was just
interrupted
saying,
you.
like, I totally agree that, I do see a lot of people get in tunnel vision as well. It's real easy to kind of get caught into, okay, let me just try to sell this deal because it's X amount of money on it. But then maybe your operation is really small and it's just you, or, maybe like one VA or something like that. And you start to get that tunnel vision. If you want to make as much money as possible, you got
Hey,
to be able
Matt,
to
this is
sell it.
Steve. How's it going?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good, man. Good. I'm reaching out. You had expressed some interest in a deal we had out in Dallas over on Kincaid.
Yeah, I just wanted the address. I've seen that property before. I didn't know what was going on with it.
Oh, nice.
I got to get back to work. But you can call me. If I call you at 8 o'clock, would that be too late?
Nah, man. I'm where this real estate, man. I'm working 24/7.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we
Yeah.
can. Okay, 10 o'clock at night. All
I
right.
got well.
Yeah, I'll give you a call or pop in.
Quick question. Just while I have you, I know you said you've seen it before. Do you know where you were at numbers wise before? Based on your information prior.
I don't recall. I think with how much work it needed, it wasn't quite the ARV that I wanted because there's others in the area that are like 450. I see you put up there a comp that was like 6.
Yeah. It kind of ranges. I know I've seen some 4s in the area, more like kind of mid 4s, and then some a little bit higher. So, of course, it's going to depend on what you're going to put into it. You know what I mean? But I just wanted to provide the full kind of, ranges.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty close. It would have to depend on getting a contractor in there and whatnot. So yeah, it might be a little bit thin just because of how much it's a big house. So
Absolutely,
any kind of work is
any kind of work is a lot. For sure,
yeah,
for sure.
Exactly. So I probably have to have somebody run through it. And I'm not sure if he's available to go when he's available to go do that. So
got it. So
let me call. Oh, go ahead.
Wait, I was going to say at the 270 that we're offering at, is that you saying that like, hey, 270 may work. I just need to get my guy out there to verify. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if
Okay.
it's only going to be, if I only need to put 100 in it,
right?
Or less, then it would be fine. But I don't know what the numbers are.
Do you think we can get somebody out? You think we can get somebody out there tomorrow?
Not that soon. I don't know what his schedule's like. I don't have time to call and ask him right now. I do have to run.
God, no, you're good, man. You're good. Sorry. I know this thing's probably going to go pretty quick, but I will keep you posted for sure. You sound like someone I want to do business with in the future, even if it's not on this one. But if we can make this one happen, let's do it. You're right. So, yeah, give me a call at 8, man, and then we'll.
Yeah, I think I saw it like a month or two ago on Investorlift also.
Okay.
So that's why I was curious about it. But anyways, yeah, I'll for sure give you a call when you talk more.
Okay. Sounds good, brother. I appreciate it, man. Look forward to speaking with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Bye.
Absolutely. Take care. Bye.
All right, cool. So
Beautiful. He was talking about getting off the phone within 10 seconds, picking it up. You got questions answered on price, on whether or not, like a very light verbal commitment on if everything is, then this price works, which is beautiful. You got him to, you pushed the ball on getting a contractor out there. Come on.
Yep, absolutely. And that's the reality, man, is one thing like in the Dispo world, sometimes that's a win, man. If some people need to see the property, right? Every single deal that you have is not going to be like a guy that's just going to, hey, it's sight unseen. You'll get those people for sure. And those are people you want to keep doing business with and keep feeding. You know what I mean? But it's not going to be everybody. You always want to give the other guys a chance, and you can use that to leverage certain things. You know what I mean? Like I said, with this guy, I always say, hey, you sound like, and he does, based off of our conversation, that doesn't sound like a wholesaler just trying to mess around and you know what I mean, sell the deal. You can tell that guy's a buyer. So, I mean, I want to reward that, right? Like, again, I pushed a little bit because he was like, oh, I got to go. I got to do this. So you got to, like, when that happens, yeah, this happens to me. Like, my heart starts racing and I'm like, oh my God, you got to go. But like, slow it down. Hey, quick question, man. You said you saw this deal before. Where were you at?
They took the time to answer the phone. So it's just a level of, if you called them and said, hey, I'm trying to give you a free car right now, they would stay on the fucking phone, right?
Right.
So it's just a discrepancy in value that they think they're getting about being on the phone with you. They took the time to answer it. They can give you 2-3 minutes to answer some basic questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially since he said he saw it before, man. Like, it's like, hey, dude, if you did due diligence already, like, where were you at? And
Yeah,
then
I like that one.
we're at 270. He's talking about a contractor out there. What I don't want is I want to try to tie down a price to the activity, right? As much as I can. Now, again, not 100. You're not gonna do this 100% of the time, but you want to try to do it 100% of the time. Like, this is where you're at on price, and is that saying that, once your contractor goes out there and bets everything, we're good to go? Versus like, oh, let's get your contractor out there and just tell me what you think. You know what I mean?
Right.
You kind of
Yeah.
a little bit more
Kind of get
urgent.
them more on the front end. Yeah, yeah, that urgency. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
That's some game right here, y'all. This is why he's the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? For
And
real,
then
man.
Will
This is
asked just a
good.
few minutes ago. He said, "I use RJ Bates'
Hey, what's up,
closing
Ruben?
formula, which is."
Yes,
Hey, Ruben, this is Steve. How are you?
pretty good. How can I help?
Good, good, good. I'm reaching out. You had expressed some interest in a deal we had out in Dallas over on Kincaid
Uh-huh.
here a little bit ago. Perfect, perfect. Did you get a chance to take a look at it?
Which deal are we talking about, sorry?
Yeah, so this is the 3-2 in Dallas on Kincaid. It's in the 75220 zip code out there.
Okay, and how did you get, like, where did I express the interest?
Right, through Investorlift. You saw it on the Investorlift platform.
Ah,
Yeah, yeah.
okay, yes, investment.
Is
okay.
Dallas your primary market? Like, are you flipping a lot out there?
No, so I'm trying to actually, like, just look for, like, a primary residence right now.
Got it.
Yeah, so I'm just going on different sites, trying to find a good deal, basically.
Gotcha.
I'm just browsing through.
Are you looking? You're looking for a fixer upper? Is that what you're kind of looking for in your primary residence?
Yeah, so something
Okay.
that, I can get some value out of, basically.
So are you pre-approved right now, or are you looking like to actually, like, do you have cash that you want to deploy so that you can get a fixer upper, live there, fix it up? Is that what you're looking to do?
Yeah, I have cash and I have pre-approvals as well.
Okay. Now, if the deal makes sense, right? And again, this one, when you're looking at fixed up homes in this area, there's one on Newcastle Drive, not that far from there, a couple blocks over, sold for $440,000. This one here, we're selling for 270. Now, of course, it does need work,
Can you
right?
give me the address again? Sorry, like,
Yeah.
I've been looking.
Yeah, you're good. It's 3046 Kincaid Drive out in Dallas. So I just so you know, full transparency, we typically work with investors, right? So those guys are going to close cash or hard money. That's why I was asking you about your pre-approval. So if your idea is to say, hey, look, I'm going to go purchase something all cash, then we can definitely still work together. Now, are you leaning on that pre-approval more, or do you think you're going to deploy all that cash towards this?
So I will buy the house at least, like, with the mortgage, but, like,
Got it.
my cash is for, like, the renovation and everything, basically.
Gotcha. If and again, this is a long shot, man. I'm just gonna tell you right now, but let's say you can get into something cash and immediately have enough equity to refi and get money out of it so that you can do those renovations. I mean, is that something that you potentially could do? Are you up for that?
Maybe it's just,
Okay.
let me look. Okay.
Yeah.
There's no hurry. Like, I'm not set on this as well. Like, I was just browsing through.
Got it. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
we'll keep my number. And again, this thing, it's probably going to go pretty soon. Like I said, it's a lot of investors, right, that are looking at it. So if you can make a decision pretty quick on it, reach out, let me know, man. And I'll definitely see if we can make something work as long as it's all cash. Okay.
Sure thing.
Sounds
Okay.
good, man. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Bye. All right.
Boom.
That was okay. So on calls like that, to be honest with you, like when I first started talking to him, you can feel that he's not like a serious buyer. Like, listen to the way that first guy talked versus this guy. He's real like sure he doesn't know. Like, I want to sell the guy that's like, oh yeah, Kincaid. Fuck yeah, let's talk about that deal. This guy's like, which one? I don't know. And he told me he was browsing, looking for his own personal house. Well, we've sold deals like that before, and it's not that's why I asked that additional question, like, hey dude, like, are you looking for a fixer upper? Like, do you want to like buy something with some equity, put some money into it as an investment to live in? Yeah,
Right.
cool. Great. And then I asked about the pre-approval to see how he talked about that, because we could do the deal if he's going to do cash. And if he said, oh, I'm going to do, the cash was for the renovations or whatever. Well, hey, dude, if I can get you into a property and you can just immediately refi and pull cash out for the renovations, like, is that something we can do? So I kind of want to test him out. I'm not crazy confident about, that buyer per se, but I mean, again, these are some creative things that you can do on some deals because I know it's a lot harder to dispo than it right now than it was a couple years back. So you gotta
Mm-hmm.
get creative with
Can't
it.
just discount that stuff right away. Got to build at least get a little bit of value out of it if you can. Because who
Right.
knows, maybe that person all of a sudden turns into Warren Buffett next year and starts buying half of America. And now guess what? They got Steve Francis.
There you go. Oh,
So Will said earlier, I use RJ Bates' closing formula. Is there like a dispo sales formula or maybe points you need to cover each call or like a process you can replicate each call? Yeah, no doubt. There's certain checkpoints on the calls that you want to hit. Main thing being price, getting an offer from them, and just getting them to commit to it. Those are kind of the three check. Those are kind of the three check boxes that I try and get from them is what's the price you wanted at, get them to make the offer, and then get them to commit on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Everything else between that, it's kind of weaving your way through of there's going to be objections. There's going to be different things you want to do based upon like, do they want access to the property? Do they want to make an offer sight unseen? Steve, how about you? What's kind of the process that you're looking at as you're going through these?
So with the experience, right? It's really like you're listening to how they're responding to certain questions. So I do a lot of test questions, to be honest with you, because I'm doing a couple things. I want to push the needle forward on the conversation of like, do you want to buy this property? Is this a property you're looking to invest in? Things like that, right? But in the mix of all that, I'm also vetting them out, whether they're a serious buyer, whether they're a wholesaler, whether they're a guy like that, where the value is in it, and you can tell by the way they're talking, right? Really, that's a huge part of it for me because I do know that this space is really convoluted with a lot of wholesalers that will act like they're buyers. So we haven't gotten on a call like this yet, but sometimes like I'll have to. It's psychology stuff, right? Like I'll get if I have a feeling that they are, I get them real comfortable in their process. Like I almost let them lead me for a second to where they're comfortable, and then I'll ask them like, oh, okay, so on this deal, if it doesn't work for you, you got some buyers you're going to shoot it out to. And by that point, their guard's down because I'm following their process, and they're like, all right, I'm about to close this guy, and I ask them that question, put them on the fence. And then they're, you know what I mean? Some people will tell you, no, I'm looking for me. Cool, you passed that test, right? But if not, and they say, yeah, I'm looking for some buyers, then I just flat out, well, the next question is like, well, was that what you were looking to do from day one? Like when you first got on this call, was that your plan? And I just like I want to sound like a disappointed dad, right? Put that kind of emotion in it, right? But here's the thing, because my next follow-up is like, again, it's still like very father-like, where I'm like, it's cool, man. It's cool. Just let me know up front, and let's talk about how we can structure this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it's vetting them. That's really important. Figuring out what questions they have, and that's all part of the vetting process too. Answering everything. I mean, a lot of the work, the process-wise, also happens before you even start to make your calls. It's getting that info from your acquisitions guys. It's making sure roof age, AC, any problems with the property. Does it have tenants? Or the tenants? And here's the thing too, like you have to understand on the dispo, it's easy on the acquisition side to say, hey, I'll take your tenants, right? That makes it a lot harder for me to sell when you say it's going to have tenants in place. So then it's having those conversations, right? Like I was saying earlier, the closings that we're dealing with right now are about getting the tenants out before we close. So things like that. But yeah, there's definitely a process. I'm a lot more fluid with it just because I've been doing it for a while. So I don't have a process.
It starts to come naturally. Exactly. I'm a big fan of don't have a script, but have a process. Have like a general chain of events you're going to follow. But think of a script as like a marble and a marble track, like the ones you used to play with as kids. With the marble on top, you watch it going down. But what happens when a toddler comes and then kicks your marble track and the marble bounces out? It's not going to magically find its way back in. That's what happens when you follow a script. And the buyer or the seller, whoever you're talking to, they're that toddler and they're going to kick. And then what happens? If they go off your line of script, you're fucked. That's why you want to follow this process and kind of know how to adapt and flow between the different points so you're not caught off guard. It's actually learning conversational skills versus just following what's, on the paper. Like that's the true skill set right
Mhm.
there.
And I think it's exactly what you said, Liam, like actually having a conversation. I think like a lot
Yeah,
of
that's
times if
it.
we think about it too hard or whatever, if you think about it, it's like, let me make sure that I'm helping some people. Let me actually try to sell a property to somebody that can actually benefit from it, and then start to work through like, okay, well, would this work for you? Would this situation work for you? Like, what questions do you have? It's gonna vary on a case by case situation. So you don't necessarily want to put yourself into that kind of box, if you will, like it has to be like this, but it is going to be like certain bullet points that you have to hit at the same time, though. And I like how Steve is doing it. It seems like he gets to the money right away. I love it. I love it. And it seems like he's trying to get that price out of them. So that's what you want to be focused on, like the bullet points more so than it has to flow exactly like this every single time. I think that's what RJ does as well. For real. Like,
Mhm.
he's really, really fluid with just having the conversation and not necessarily it's going to flow like this, but I'm going to hit these 4 check marks every time.
I think that the super underrated devices have a conversation. Like you're just having a conversation. Some people they treat
Just
it
have a
like it's
conversation.
something so wild and crazy, like you're trying to go slay a dragon or something. Like if you walk into your best friend's house, you're not gonna go in there and be like, hey Steve. You're gonna be like, Steve, what's up, man?
Right?
We've known each other for a long time. There's immediate familiarity. It's just a conversation. You have an end goal. You're going to be persuasive. You're going to be putting, strategies and
Mhm.
things you've learned. Like you're trying to weigh the odds in your favor, but it's just a conversation.
Yep.
Man,
Cool.
picking up right now. I'm gonna move over to one of the offers and see
Uh-oh.
if you
Cool.
get. Ooh, man, I've got 2 super low ones. Let me see. Let me call these guys and see what's up. I'm gonna see if I can talk them up some at least. This is another thing. And again, I take a lot of the stuff that I do from like when I used to do acquisitions. I do have an offer that I really actually think that we can make work on this one. But I just wanted to have some calls beforehand just to kind of go through the process with some other people too. Now
Yep.
I want to call a low wall offer just to like go through that process too. Like I want to try to provide some value
Cool.
there. See,
Okay.
now to be honest, my goal is 2 things. One, first and foremost, sell the damn deal, right? At the price we're looking for, make a good little assignment fee there. But on this one, knowing that they lowballed, right? I'm gonna get them up something. You know what I'm saying? And if I get them up something, I'll probably just cut them loose at that point. If it's not what I need to be, and then go call the other offer and make it work there. But it's practice, right? Like I would say if you guys are just getting into this and you do have, the Investorlift platform and you do have some offers through that, um, call the low ones too and see if you can get them up. You know what I mean? It's if you don't call them at all and like, oh, that's too low, I'm not gonna call it at all. You don't gain anything from that. But
Mhm.
it's a low risk way to practice driving people up with the price, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%.
Smart.
100%.
Yeah, so let's do that real quick. See if she'll even answer.
That's what
And
it's
then
really at
Mike,
right there. That's how you really increase those margins, is having those conversations where people came in low and you're able to get them up. Like, even if they came in right where you wanted them, if you can get them up, you know what I mean? Like creating some excess competition, like you were just saying, that hits different.
Mm-hmm.
it does. Mike has a question that I'm gonna wait for Steve to hop off this next call, and then I'm gonna have that one go to him.
Hey, what's going
So
on,
hold on,
Eric?
Mike.
Yes, who is it?
Hey, Eric, this is Steve. I'm reaching out because you had expressed some interest in a deal that we had out in the Dallas market. Looks like you did put an offer in around 206. Do you remember that?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. What was the address?
The address was 3046 Kincaid Drive out in Dallas. It's in 75220 area code.
Okay. Cool. Yep.
Yeah, perfect. Well, on that one, we are asking, the 70,000 for it. So I just want to give you a call just for the courtesy, right? Everybody that reaches out makes an offer. I definitely want to, talk to, see if we can do some business down the road. It doesn't look like we wouldn't be able to make that offer work per se, but I'm looking just to see if there's some room to go up from there. I mean, we may have some wiggle room, but I definitely need to, get something a lot closer to that 70.
Sure. Yeah. This is my site unseen number, so it could change. I'm
Yeah.
assuming that foundation, roof, electrical, plumbing, and HVAC all need work on this.
No, not on this one. Yeah. See, I'm actually super glad I called then. So on this property, the AC is probably 4 years old. The roof is a new metal roof within 3 years old. Foundation has been done. Now, again, full transparency on this one. There is no warranty. The warranty is voided on that foundation. So that's something, to consider on this. Because I definitely want to be transparent with you on everything that I do know about the property. But all those things that, you were kind of mentioning as far as like, hey, worst case scenario, this isn't 100% the case there. Now, it's more cosmetic than anything, as far as that goes. So with that being said, I mean, that 270 that we're asking, is that something that you might consider doing so long as, you vet out everything and it makes sense?
No, we wouldn't be there,
Mm.
but let's see where we would be.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that gets us up 7 grand, so we can go to 13.
That's crazy. I'm curious what process here, because I know, like, if you're talking about an AC, you're probably, on a house that big, you're probably talking about just that 7 grand alone. And if I can save you the AC and the roof, and knowing the foundation was done, why only 7 grand to go up? I'm just curious on what that.
Well, so for cosmetic, I like to do like anywhere between 30 and 35 bucks a square foot. If it needs like absolute
Got it.
everything,
So you're going up
floors, paint, drywall, like literally everything, which I'm assuming it does. Like change a floor plan. In the street view, I see this like addition that's like looks like it's like has plywood in it, so we need to like siding for that. We need to paint the whole thing. Windows need to be replaced. The HVAC actually, if you look at the street view, like one condenser looks fine and the other doesn't. The roof also looks like it has some tarp on it on this addition. So I'm not sure what that is. You're looking at like garage door. Looks like the fence is fine. But yeah, this is my side I'm seeing. But there's wiggle room. I don't want to walk it if there's like.
No, for sure. Yeah, no, I get it, man. Yeah, and I don't want to waste either of our time either on this one. I get it. That's unfortunately that's a little too low for us. We do have offers currently, significantly higher. That's why I just kind of wanted to call, fill you out, see where you're at. Because I mean, you sound like someone I want to do business with in the future, someone that actually purchases deals out there. I think we could make something work on something later down the road. Dallas, is that your primary market?
Yeah, Dallas and Fort Worth, really. Those are the only two markets that I operate in. I love stuff in the east side of Dallas, and I love stuff in like Fairmount, like South Fort Worth. Those are like two areas I love.
Gotcha. And then, so question, you are able to do like because you said it earlier, the sight unseen thing. So that is something that you would be willing to do with some sight unseen properties potentially, so long as numbers check out.
No, I like to look at it.
Okay, that's fine.
I like to make an offer and see if it's workable. If it is, if we're like 5, 10, 15 grand, then I could definitely go out.
Got it.
And kind of firm up my number.
Okay, I got it. The reason I asked, we just sold one last week, sight unseen in Fort Worth, just like first day, it's gone, right? So that's kind of not to say that we need you to do that, right? But you are competing with some people that are doing that on there. But I want to be fair to everybody and figure out what your process is so we can get the appropriate deals in front of you and potentially, get something done. Okay.
Definitely.
Cool.
Definitely.
All right, brother. Well,
But yeah, please keep me in mind.
Yeah, we'll do. I appreciate it. Thank you. Bye-bye. So that was more the relationship thing at the end. Now, again, he offered way too damn low. Like this dude, I'm asking 270, he asked 206. So I was like, there's no way.
That's wild.
I did ask the sight unseen thing because we did sell a deal sight unseen last week, in Fort Worth. So that's part of the urgency thing. Like I want to, as I'm building this relationship, almost train these guys in a way. Does that make sense? Like, this is what you're going up against. I do have a lot of people that do this, that do it sight unseen. So I'm wondering if what's your risk tolerance for that? now I know that he doesn't really have one, so that's cool. But I'd let him know, hey, if we don't hit on something, that's why. You know what I mean? To see if potentially, we can get those competitive juices flowing down the road.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I really like how you approached that with like, you knew that he came in really low, but you didn't just let it kind of like not be an opportunity. Let's put it like that. You're still like, hey, look, even if it's not this deal, then the next deal, da 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 da. You know what I mean? You're
Right.
kind of working them and you're creating that urgency, like you said. Well, he may come back around and bend the block on this one again or whatever. Like, what? I thought about it.
Right. Well, even in that, even saying like sometimes it's a psychology thing. Like even saying like, oh, well, if not this one, man, it's cool. We'll get you down the road. Like I'm almost like, nah, dude, you don't want this one. Like you know what I mean? Like almost
taking it off the table
just to see if he's like, well, wait, hold on. Like, what are we talking about? So again, you'll have those guys that'll sit there and just like, oh, but this needs to be done. That needs to be done. This needs to be done. Then you heard me. I was like, hey, I knew the facts of the property. Like, hey, dude, that AC is 4 years old, man. Like, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
That and then the roofs within 3 years, and it's a metal roof at that. That's a 50-year roof, bro. Like, come on now. So that's why, like, I kind of called him out when he was like, "Oh yeah, if that's all done, I can go up
7K.
7 grand." And I'm like, bro,
Okay.
I just saved you more than 7K in AC work, dude. And you got a 50-year roof. Like, what's up? You know what I mean? So I just wanted to see kind of how he'd respond to that if I kind of put his feet to the fire on it.
Yeah, hey, he was thinking too. I like how Liam commented. He said, "Be comfortable with silence." He was definitely thinking about it for a second there. He was,
yeah,
dude.
like you never know what's going on
in
in their brain. Like I know what's going on in mine. It's just I'm gonna wait until you say something, dude. Like let you figure and let you tell me what it is, and I'll sit in silence for 5 minutes if I have to.
Right.
It's like a lot of people that they ask these questions or they put this kind of trap out to try and get some information. It's like you put a banana peel in the track, and then they don't wait for the seller, the buyer, whoever you're talking to take the initiative to go step on it. It's like they put the banana peel out, they get uncomfortable after like 2 seconds of that person not talking, and they just jump on them. They're like, well, and then they just completely run over their own question. You got to be comfortable asking a question, shutting up, or posing something to them in a way that challenges their way of thinking, and then shutting up. It's like just a natural conversation. You gently push the ball in their court, and then you just wait. That's it, as long as it takes.
That's facts. That's facts.
Absolutely. This next one, I think we might do it on this next one. Just because I've talked to this guy before. So this is the thing. Even though they come up on Investorlift, like you talked to people before, so you know kind of where they're at. So I'm kind of cool with them. I just want to kind of save them for last because I know we're coming up. We got 419, and I'm cool answering questions if this one gets done and all that, or doing whatever we got to do. So let's just see if I can get it locked up with this guy.
Oh, let's get it sold.
And then we'll go from there. He missed out on a property before too, so.
Oh yeah, that's definitely some urgency there.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta train him kind of sometimes,
Okay, I see we got some questions on here too. Great.
This one's probably going to be like the most casual conversation I had all day. I'm probably just going to tell him, hey, send me what you need me to send, and we'll get it out, dude.
Okay, that's Miracle right there. That's Miracle. I thought that was
man. How's it going?
Good.
Hey, on that 270 on Kincaid, you're still good there?
Yeah. Can we get the option?
Let me talk to my guy about it. Let's do me a favor, send me what you can, with like LLC and everything, and then send me all the docs that you think we need for it, and then I'll get everything generated on my side too, and I'll let you know, for sure. But if you can do 270, man, like I'll roll with it.
Okay. No, yeah. I mean, we're solid at 270.
Okay.
The way we normally work, we just need, if you guys get it all approved and everything, I can send you a COF if you guys need one. But
okay.
I mean, if you guys are all good, then I just need you to send me over the contract with the seller, and I'll type up the assignment and shoot it over to you. Just DocuSign, and then we'll be good to rock and roll.
Okay. Yeah, let me figure that part of it out, man. Shouldn't be an issue on this one right now because I know we're kind of past that time frame. So I mean, I'm comfortable, potentially, taking that risk there. It's not something we do all the time, but I still got to get it approved for sure. Okay, okay. And then on this one too, I know he's going to ask, man, especially with the option if you guys need one. I know that's kind of why we weren't able to do the deal before. I mean, he's going to ask if there's any room up from there. I know that he's going to do it, man. So I mean, there's just, like potentially we can do like 275 or something like that, like just for the option thing. I mean, do you see that as a reality, or are you kind of more, you know?
I mean, we can probably make it work.
Okay. Okay, cool. That may sweeten it for him, dude, to be honest. So, I mean, I want to get something rolling with you. I just know it's a little bit different than what we're used to, but I'm willing to at least like explore it. So I'll get everything done around like the 275. I'll get that approval for that option, and then we'll see if we can roll with it. But again, I just want to let you know, like full transparency, like during that time, if they say yes to that during that time, like I'm still actively marketing it and making calls on it just in case, you know what I'm saying? I kind of have to. They're not going to let me burn any days to, on this thing. So, okay, cool. All right, man. Well, I'm confident that we can make it work with the 275, especially if we sweeten it for the option, and I'll get with you here in a bit, and then we'll get everything rolling.
All right, man. Sounds good. Appreciate it.
Cool. You too. Thank you. All right.
Sheesh.
Always creating urgency. Brilliant.
Right. So,
Yeah.
and here's the thing, like some people, it's not something we do all the time. To be fair, we just price drop this deal, right? So again, you have to understand the dynamics behind your deal. You know what I mean? I still want to do the urgency, still want to do all that. The reality is I just price dropped this thing today. You know what I'm saying? So we've had this for a second. We've had some issues with the foundation stuff, right? So that's really been like the thing that really killed it. And that's how we found out that, and this is cool. This is a way that acquisition and Dispo works together, right? Send buyers out there, send someone to take a look at it. We found out, hey, there's foundation in there. Let's get some info on, was it the warranty? So we, corner the guy, asked the guy about it. So he said he literally had his cousin do the foundation work. Like his cousin works for a foundation company, and to save money, he had his cousin do it. So I was like, all right, dude. So I asked the guy, I was like, okay, so there's no warranty on this thing. And you guys didn't do a static test to see if the plumbing cracked while you fixed it? Like, well, no. I go, dude, like the money that you saved sending your cousin to do it, you just lost on the back end. You know what I mean? Because I'm not doing this without a warranty, and if I do, I have to assume the worst. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we're still trying to get him down. So that thing is, it's like on the extra 5 for the option thing, mentality on my part on that is like, okay, can we sweeten it for my guy to approve it for the option?
Wait, so what was he saying now? Like, break it. What was he asking for? I wouldn't
So
understand.
he wants a short option period on it is what he wants. That's why we weren't able to do the last deal, because he wanted the short option period. And in the time that I was like, I don't know, man, like that's not something we really do. Someone hopped on that deal, got full price, and we were like, all right, dude, sign that team, let's go. That was the one.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah,
So
that's interesting.
So that's the thing. I mean, it's not something we do all the time, and I still have to get it approved. Like, I don't know if we can even do it, but I mean, if I can get $5,000 over asking, like, I'm sure that's not gonna hurt my case, and making it
Right.
make sure I get that proper approval. Again, very, very same thing as the acquisitions. Like, I got to go in the finance department. You know what I mean? You kind of leverage other people to see if you can, make something work.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. That's interesting. Very, very interesting indeed.
Yeah.
A question from Will. A question from Will from a little bit ago is, what if you put the deal on Investorlift and you don't have any offers? How do you go about cold calling Godmo neighbor buyers or Artemis Mud buyers? What's the process supposed to look like? Like, how do you pitch the deal but still create urgency? It is about process. I'll tell you what I do, and it's different from what I know most people do. And this actually I come from a retail background. When I first got into real estate, I started as an agent, and then I actually started an agency where I was setting appointments for other realtors. And then we gave them the whole process to sell the deals for highest price. And as it turns out, it fucking crushes for Dispo too. So what we do is we create artificial urgency by having a very strict timeline of events. We'll bring the deal live on Investorlift on a Thursday. We'll market it from Thursday until Thursday, and we're trying to book showings for Friday or Saturday. We'll have one big group showing, so we got to get the person out of the house one time. Big group showing. The buyers, they see everybody there. They're getting competitive with each other. They get this internal sense of what's going on. And we say, hey, like this thing is going to move fast. We got to get highest and best by 5 p.m. the day we do the showing. Very, very, very rarely have we not booked more than 3 showings, which then that's enough to create this they know they're competitive with each other, like they're like, oh shit. And then just like that. So we're going for booking those. And then of course, throughout the week, if we get something that's like an offer set unseen, or somebody's willing just to offer right away, says, hey, can I just get in like now? Depending on, we got good relationships we're at, we can entertain those too. But if we're not getting the hits, then we got to stack the chips in our favor to create this demand. So that's how we do it.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Let's see. So you're saying like, right, how do you go about cold call? Right. He was asking like, how do you go about cold calling God mode, neighbor buyers, automobile buyers? What's the process supposed to look like? How do you pitch the deal but still create urgency? Yeah, that's interesting. But okay, so let's say for instance, in the scenario though, that you're not getting offers on Investorlift, then I'm assuming that like we would just still like in terms of like how I would do it or whatever, I would just think like I would just still reach out to people or whatever and be like, hey, I got this deal out and da 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 da. I would be trying to get as much feedback as possible at that point, to be honest. Like if I'm not getting offers, I'm trying to call as many people as possible and try to find out why. Because if it's not getting the traction that I want, that typically means that something's wrong with the deal. From my experience, at least, like something's typically wrong, or I'm not sending it out to enough people. If the numbers make sense, then it should be getting traction. It should be getting views. It should be getting offers. People should be reaching out to you consistently. Let's put it like that. So I would assume that that's probably a deal situation if it's not moving on Investorlift. But I don't know. That's what I think. What say you guys? I'm curious.
Yeah. I would say that for sure, right? Your deal, if you got a killer deal, you're gonna get a bunch of offers on it. They're gonna come in left and
Right.
right. If you don't have a so hot deal, I think it's really up to like there's a couple things, right? So I do like some pre-work, right? So when we get a deal, I like to shoot it out in the morning, right? So if like let's say I get a deal at night and I look at it, I'm gonna do some analysis on it, and then I'll start to go into God mode and start building the little list beforehand anyway, regardless, right? Just so like what I don't like to do is like post it on Investorlift and just like twiddle my thumbs waiting for somebody to say something. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I kind of either one or two things, right? If it's a market that I've done a lot of business in, then I've already got like a Rolodex of people I can call on it. You know what I mean? A lot of times a deal comes through especially here in San Antonio, a deal comes through my desk and I'm like, oh, dude, this is this guy's deal. Like, boom, and I'm on the phone with him and we're going to go take a look at it. You know what I mean? If you don't have that luxury, you would go into God mode, and I'm looking at LLC. So I'll go say, okay, the last 6 months, the last year, whatever, who's bought in this area, right? And I'm looking for all the LLCs, and then I'll go and skip trace them. Like I'll go, and it depends on the level that you have, right? So this is literally what I do. I'll find the LLC that's bought next to it. I'm in Texas, so it's a non-disclosure state, so it's not as cool as being able to tell exactly what they bought it for. You know what I mean? I just know they bought something. So I'll go and I'll put them into open corporates and I'll go look at the registered agent and see who the owner of the LLC is. And then, usually there's an address there. So I'll single skip trace that address and I'll do two things. I'll pull up that real quick. And then if you do have cartel mode, right, I'll pull that name and I'll put it in cartel mode to see if their number's already there. Number's already there, dude. I'm calling right now. If it's not, I'll go through with the skip trace part and, try to reach out to them that way. And then, the pitch is kind of, it's a little bit different. So if you notice, like with these, I always say, and I'm real careful just because I'm a stickler for it, right? Like, technically we're wholesaling, so I'm not selling you a property. Like, I can't do that. I'm not a realtor. You know what I mean? So I say, hey, I saw you had interest in my deal in this place, XYZ. You know what I mean? I'm calling out your interest in it, that dynamic when I'm making these calls, right? If I'm cold calling, then it's like, hey, I've got a deal right down the road where, you had just done one before. Would you be interested in one just like that one? And kind of see where they're at.
Okay.
Right. And then again, like if you do like the pre-work, and it's daunting, it takes a lot of time, especially if you're in a new market. And but people in that situation more often than not have more time than money. So I would say kind of do the work, right?
Right.
Get a list of people to call, skip trace them on God mode, on prop stream, whatever that looks like. And day one, as soon as that thing goes out, start calling. You can even do it the day before. Hey, build that urgency. This thing is going out live tomorrow to everybody. Like, I just want your feedback on it because I know you know the area. You're right there. If we can make a deal work, I'd love to send you some more in the future. So it's like a carrot on the stick type thing. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm making you important because I know you're a real investor. I know you invested in an area like right next to this property, and I know you want properties just like this. And I want to reward you down the road for the urgency you're taking now because this is going out tomorrow. Yeah. So you build your own urgency there. That's still the truth. You're not sitting there saying, I got 50 offers, man. Like, you're not lying, right? Hey, this is going out tomorrow to everybody. And it is. And even though, maybe you don't have a big list and everybody's not a lot of people, it's still going out to everybody.
Right.
And then you'll find buyers that way that'll actually, like purchase. And then at that point you get a deal, you call them up front. You know what I mean? Same thing. And if you're not getting anything that next day, it's the deal. And exactly what Ed said, like, you want feedback.
Yeah.
So let's get as many people out there, get the feedback on it. You take that feedback to leverage with your acquisition team and the seller. See if you can price drop it. But the reason why, like, you'll hear me, this one, to be honest, we are working on a price drop on this one. It works at 275 all day. We're still going to try to get the price drop. You know what I mean? We're still working through that because it's valid, right? In what we're doing. But once you get that feedback, if you're hard on them with the number, kind of like I was with the other guys, like, hey, this number makes sense for you, right? You're good at this number. Yes. Now you have some actual hard evidence that you can take to your acquisitions team to make that call. And they're that much more confident on the call, knowing that someone committed to this price. And you can even tell, and I've told people in the past, like, hey, look, I'm going to be super honest with you right now. This deal is tight as it is. Like, if you're, and that's what, before when I was saying, understand your deal and the dynamic around it. Like, the truth is sometimes the tight deals come up. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to make 50 grand on every assignment fee. It'd be great, right? But on the tighter ones, I'll let people know, hey, to be honest, at this offer, I can't guarantee, we're working on a price reduction up front. I can't guarantee I can make it work. But is there any room for you to go here? And now you're kind of negotiating. Oh, I can go up 5 grand. And if that 5 grand works, like, hey, if you can do that, and this is the thing, let's say for whatever reason, let's say you got a contract at 80 grand, the dude offered, 80 grand, it's not going to work, right? Man, I'm not confident that I can make this one work at this price. We're working on the front end. I'm not opposed to doing that, it's just so we can make a deal happen for you. But I mean, can you work with me a little bit? Like, can you do 90? Like, is it out of the question for it to be 90? Maybe I'll do 85. Look, if you can do 85, I can guarantee that I can go ahead and write you up for it today and we can make it work.
Right.
So you're still kind of like, hey, if you don't do this, this is off the table, bro. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I mean, you can play with that too a little bit. I sold a deal last week just like that. We made 10 grand on it because we did get the price drop and we were in the works of it. And I told him, look, dude, I can guarantee that I can send you an assignment. We can close on it with this number right here. Is that something you can guarantee to me? Yes, I can. Great. Send the assignment, got the price drop on the back end. We're good. If you don't have that like leverage, if you don't know you're going to get that price drop, hey man, the same thing. I can guarantee I can make this happen, but over here, I can't guarantee anything, right? We're just going to have to wait and see if this price drop works. And I don't know if, other offers are going to come in the meantime. I'd love to do business with you. See if we can get it done. Is this something you can do? 5 minutes of silence, baby.
Hey, no, that's great stuff right there, man. That's great stuff for real. I love it.
I hope you guys in the audience are appreciating that. That is some insider info right there.
Yeah, right. There's some value, some pure value. He's dropping gems out here for real. I'm over here taking notes. I'm like, oh man, okay, yeah, definitely gonna be throwing that into my own personal dispo calls. I make some dispo calls myself and whatnot. So, but yeah, so we got
It gets you kind of hyped too, doesn't it? Like, oh man, I want to go close some buyers right now.
Right? Like for real though. Speaking of buyers, like I've got a deal right now. This is Miracle in the chat. I thought that was Mike, but it's this is Miracle in the chat talking about a deal that we have working with them. We're JV in a deal with them right now, and their seller and the agent that's on the deal haven't been answering the questions. I mean, haven't been answering their phone calls and whatnot. I actually called this agent today as well or whatever. They didn't answer me either. So it's really, really interesting. I'm curious, like you guys, what would you guys do in this situation? This is actually like a situation that I'm in right now with Miracle. Like the people aren't answering. So that's a good question. Like, what do you do when you're on Dispo? You're trying to Dispo the deal, you locked everything up, but now you're getting ghosted. Like, what's the
Leave a
go-to
deal in
route for you
escrow.
guys? I'm curious.
Everything is set. However, the seller and realtor are unresponsive.
Mhm.
Escalate. I mean, if you got a contract locked on it, you got a contract locked on it. No, make sure that they know that you're filing a memorandum.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that your contract, your contract, your purchase agreement needs to have a specific section in it giving you the right to file a memorandum. That's something
That's a
that
fact.
people don't know. You can't file a memorandum unless you have the right to file a memorandum.
Yep.
Super important. My purchase agreements all have the right to file a memo. I let the person know, hey, we have this agreement. You are not performing. I'm going to file a memorandum.
Boom.
Then file the fucking memorandum. You just start escalating it, making it seem. And there's a point where you got to just not play nice. It's not about, hey, could you please answer my phone calls?
Right.
If you don't, you become a debt collector. You start breaking kneecaps.
Dude,
If you don't, I will literally make it impossible for you to sell this house ever.
Right. Right.
I've used that plenty of times, man, for sure. Here's what I do on that one too, though, man. Now, okay, I'll tell you this. That for me, and everybody's different, right? For me, that does come out. Like I have literally told people, like, hey, look, if you don't do this right now, this is what's gonna happen. We're gonna file a memo, and good, like people that have held the deal up for like $5,000, like, and guess how? And I'll tell them, or whatever that amount is, if it's 20 grand, and it has a lot has to happen for me to get to this point. But I will say, like, because at the end of the day, you do catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar, right? But you got to say it. So, hey, man, you're killing this deal for 10 grand. Guess how much it's going to cost to release that memo? The exact 10 grand that you're doing. So you might as well close it right now because you ain't getting any more money out of this. We agree to this price. I'm filing the memo. We're doing this. Now, before I do that, like in a situation like this, to be honest, I'd still be kind of cordial-ish, but not cordial to the realtor. I would look up their realty thing, and I would call the broker. Call the broker. Hey,
that's good.
I'm just reaching out, a friendly reminder. I don't know what's going on. And again, like people will, I call it like the lost kid at Walmart. That's like, can you help me find my mom? Like everybody wants to help that guy. You know what I mean? That kid, right? So if you go with the broker and say, hey, look, I'm just reaching out. I don't know what's going on. Maybe there's some personal stuff in this person's life, but I'm not really getting any feedback. We do have an active deal. We are ready to close on it. Unfortunately, like my company, my client, however you phrase that, right? We're at this point, because there's so much, non-responsiveness, like we're considering filing a memorandum, and I don't want to cause any problems with anybody in this thing, but that's something that we're considering doing. I just need to get some answers on this thing. We're ready to close it. Like, could you please like reach out to them, talk to them? Because I don't want to get anybody, in the mix, in trouble, anything like that,
Oh,
So
that's
you're
cool.
that's like pre the, hey bro, I'm filing a goddamn memo and you're about to, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So before then, like I mean I call the broker, man. Like
Yeah, I was just thinking about that earlier. I'm thinking like, yeah, we may need to call the broker because Miracle has been calling the agent. They haven't been answering. I called the agent. They've been calling the seller. So everything is just kind of, it's like a shit show. It's just like silence. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man, what are we gonna do? So yeah, matter of fact, I think that we reached out to Miracle earlier to send that purchase and sale agreement so we can find out whether we can actually put the memo on the property, et cetera, et cetera. That may be where we have to take this thing. Well, that's great advice. That's great advice.
yeah.
Hey, you say you came out to Dispo Day and got some valuable gems. Okay, you say sent it to Mike. Okay, perfect. So we're working out here, man. We're working.
Oh, there you go.
That's good stuff, man.
I
Okay.
like that. I like that in the lost kid in Walmart.
Oh yeah,
Everybody
dude.
wants to help.
Everybody wants to help them, dude. And if you treat it like that at the beginning, at least, you know what I mean? Like you get a little further, and then I mean I like to save the what do they call it? That little the nuke button for the appropriate time. Like I know I got it, you know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna try to do everything I can, as cordial as possible. And then again, like going above their head, dude, you got to do it sometimes. Like it is what it is. You know what I mean? If you want to get the deal done.
Yeah. And it's a great one too. That's the crazy part. Like, oh, there's so much traction. Like, we literally got like 20 people that want to see this place, man. Like, literally, like, not even exaggerating. It's wild. Like, come on, man. Like, you're not about to hold this up. Ain't no way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. We got some more questions here as well. Israel was saying, wait, is that a real option for the buyer to refi? Oh, I guess he was asking, was that an actual option for that buyer to be able to buy it for, I guess, the 270 and then refi it day one or something like that or whatever? I guess that's what he was asking.
Yeah, so on that, that's not something that I'm gonna facilitate. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna put that on me to be like, hey, like this is what you can do. I'm gonna structure this whole thing for you. But conceptually, right? You got to think like with that particular guy, you got to get what they're giving you, right? So what he gave me is I'm looking for a personal residence. Okay. So my next thing is okay, if you're on Investorlift looking for a personal residence, you're probably in the wrong place, or you are looking for a fixer upper because you want to invest in something to, you know what I'm saying? Like you're going to live there, but you want to buy it cheap, have some equity, right? And if that's the case, then my next questions were kind of my line of questioning was leading him more towards like, are you going to pay with his cash? And
Right.
the reality is, if he has the 270 cash and will pay for it cash, he's got some instant equity there because he is buying at a discount. ARVs are, anywhere between 440 and 660, depending on what you're looking at. If he did get that appraised, I'm confident it's going to be appraised higher than that. So then if he then now owns the asset and goes to the bank and tries to get a refi or whatever, right? Then he may be able to get more money than what he put into it, therefore allowing him to take that excess and put it into the repairs like he originally planned.
Boom.
So again, it's not like I wouldn't go telling everybody that, you know what I mean? But I've done a deal in Port Lavaca, Texas, small town, like like barely anybody lives there, but there's a Formosa plant, right? Like a chemical plant that a lot of those guys work at. And this dude was moving from their headquarters in like North Carolina down to Port Lavaca. He was kind of an investor. He had Investorlift. He saw the deal, and that's exactly what he did. So that's why that kind of picked up in my brain because I did that same thing. He bought it because he wanted to fix it up and sell it. So when he left that job, he'd have like 2 years tax free. You know what I mean? All that good stuff. So
right. Makes sense.
it's possible, right?
Right. Like you said, like you wouldn't be the one trying to facilitate the whole thing, but you're just throwing it out there. Like, is this what you're trying to do? Just based off the conversation that you was having with the person.
Right. And if the answer is yes, and let's go, let's push that conversation forward towards a buying, conversation. But if it's no, like with this guy, he was like, I'm just looking, so cool. And like we'll cut off and run and, we'll sell to somebody else, but, it's worth a shot.
Yeah. I like that though. Like
Israel
around that part
said-
of that conversation, you came off as like extremely knowledgeable as well, because it's like you was just breaking it down. So I was like, is this what you're trying to do? Because he wasn't saying anything or whatever. It's just like he just seemed like he may be a looky-loo or something like that or whatever. But you were like really kind of pushing the issue and creating that urgency. And it's like, is this what you're trying to do? Is this what you're trying to do? All right, well, look, if you come with the cash, we can make it happen quickly. Basically, you know what I mean? So it wasn't like you weren't playing no games with him. It wasn't like, hey, we just gonna about to be sitting here chatting. I'm trying to get to the price. I love that. I'm not gonna lie. Like getting to the price is real good. I love the way you do it.
Yep.
Taking some notes, man. I'm taking some notes out here. Okay, and then
Israel said, are you saying to file a memorandum on the assignment agreement with the buyer? No, you can't file a memorandum on that. A memorandum is that's something that's not for any type of contract ever. That's specifically for clouding the title of a real estate deal. So you wouldn't file it against the buyer. This is something you file against the seller. Take it straight to the county, get it so it clouds the title. That way, whenever a title company is trying to facilitate the transaction and they're doing their title search, this is going to come up clouding the title until it gets resolved. And so then it just stops them from being able to sell the property to somebody else. So that's where the memorandum goes, not against the buyer, but the seller.
Boom. So there we go. That's next in line, Miracle. That's what we'll be doing soon. For real.
So Steve, how you feeling? Do you have more people to call? We got about 15 minutes left. So how are you feeling here?
Yeah, if y'all want, I can run a couple more calls, man.
Let's hear it. Yeah.
Okay, I see. Will dropped another question on here as well.
Oh, that's funny. I'm getting people.
Excuse me.
That's what. Hold on. So now I got on this one. I mean, I could, and we can see what they say, right? But I've got the offer again. If someone comes at the 270 and they're not going to do the option, then that's what we'll probably roll with. And I'll call that guy and say, hey, can you drop the option and figure that out? You know what I mean? Kind of leverage.
Mhm.
But
Use that leverage.
yeah.
And then,
Okay.
Will, to answer your question, I think what we were outlining before wasn't for people that didn't necessarily submitted buyers. That's what we're doing as we're doing outreach is you're a buyer. And the only thing that really shifts on that is just the intro. It's instead of, hey, I saw you expressed interest, it's, hey, I see that you bought properties in the area already. Are you interested in more? Gauging that interest first. That's the only shift. You just not you need to figure out if they're interested.
Right. Like
Interested in buying. Yeah.
I see you bought something in so and so area. I've got something just like that. Do you want it? Something around those lines, kind of shifting up that intro, but still having a conversation ultimately. I said, or maybe certain questions or phrases. I'm trying to think like questions or phrases. I mean, I think it's more like the bullet points, like what do you need to get out of them versus like this particular lines, because the lines are gonna kind of change on a case by case basis. I would say that it's like price, trying to get them to actually go view the place as fast as possible, and kind of locking them in on that, and then actually getting them to go do it. I think Steve broke it down a little with Lee, and one of you guys broke it down pretty succinctly earlier in terms of like the actual like bullet points that you're looking for. Boom.
I think that'd be a good note. It's not something that I have outlined, but something along the lines of just a 5-step or just a 5 main bullet points you're trying to work your way through.
Mm-hmm.
On acquisitions, I've got the 4 pillars.
Yeah, same. It's a very similar thing. I like to freestyle it a little bit and whatnot. Just because it's just more natural. It seems like I have better conversations when I'm kind of just going with the flow, if you will.
Waiting for these people to answer, man.
Uh-oh.
Two.
Oh, look, somebody said they never got the link. No. Hold on. Depositors.
See, they got it. Another quick tip too, though, is when you're going through these, when people do inquiries and stuff, I always look at I'll Google like Dallas area codes, and I'll call those people first. That's not like an end all be all, but I like that because I know that they're local for sure. There could be some guys that are there local that have different area codes, right? That's a thing, but it kind of gets you closer to home. You know what I mean when you do that?
Yep.
That's a great idea.
Hey, Joe.
Yes.
Hey, what's up, Joe? This is Steve. How's it going?
Good. Who are you with?
Good. I'm with the company HBHS here in San Antonio. The reason why I'm reaching out is I saw that you had expressed some interest in a deal that we had over on Kincaid Drive out in Dallas. I just wondering if we can talk a little bit about that. See if I see you're a realtor too, so see if you had a client or if you were buying yourself.
It would be something I'd be looking at for myself, and
Okay,
I probably looked at that sometime today.
got it. Yeah, I think earlier today, like 1:30.
Yeah, they come in on my phone, so they're kind of hard to see, but
Got it. I can give you I can give you a quick breakdown of the deal. I know it's in the 75220 zip code. It's over on Kincaid Drive. It's a 3-2, pretty big, 2761 square feet. Relatively, it's kind of.
I'm not so certain about that neighborhood.
Got it.
I know it's in Benson.
Right.
I haven't driven a while.
Yeah, because I did see there were some comps that are kind of varying in range, right? I see anywhere from 440 to 660 area. So, of course, that's kind of par for the course when you're talking about like the transition as far as that goes. So,
Yeah, and y'all haven't taken title. You would just be passing title to the
yes, yeah. So it is an assignment of contract, yes, sir.
Okay. I just have to get up there and drive up and down the street a little bit.
Gotcha,
I
gotcha.
did use Google Maps. I mean, I work in commercial.
Oh,
So
got it.
actually something just for my personal book,
Okay.
but I own residential up in Denton,
Hmm.
which is really where I buy to own.
Got it.
This would be look like more of a flip opportunity.
Okay. When you say real quick, when you say you do commercial, are you doing kind of all over Texas or specifically in the Dallas area?
I work for an investment. We invest on behalf of pension funds and insurance companies.
Oh man. Okay. Okay. The reason why I asked. Oh, what's up? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say the reason why I asked is I do currently I have a deal out in the Houston market right now that's commercial. It's on a triple net lease right now. So it's tough, right? Because the triple net lease is up in March, which could be a good thing for someone that kind of wants to like revitalize it, restabilize the asset. But the kicker there is that there's also a lot next to it that it comes with. And that lot, we do have some write-ups from a commercial guy out in the area that he says if you wanted to do like a new construction, you could build up to four newer units and kind of rent them out to some big box guys out there. But again, I sent this out to a REIT, and it was a little too small for them. So maybe it could be something that you guys may be able to look at.
What's the size of that deal?
Let me double check. So I'm thinking it's around. Hold up. Before I say something crazy, let me make sure that I know for sure. 625 is what we're selling that one for.
Okay, well, do you have my email address?
I don't know. Oh, actually, I think I might. Do you mind texting it to me just in case though? I got a couple of tabs open. Let me see. Well, let me see if I can verify. Is it the bosar@gmail.com?
Say that again.
It's EBOSHAR@gmail.com.
No, somebody else.
Okay. Okay.
Just same dot last name. So Doug.Prickett@gmail.
Gotcha. Okay. Perfect. 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 All right. Doug. Let me write that down. Beautiful. All right. Yeah. Yeah. I can shoot it over your way, and it's got all the specs on it. Like I said, it's more like a development play, restabilization type thing. And if it's something in your guys' wheelhouse, I definitely want to, get some feedback on it. I do have an executive summary that I can send you to that's got some things laid out. I don't know if you have ingress egress, but we might, like kind of on the area. So, yeah, I'd love to get that in front of you. And then specifically on this one, as far as that goes, would it be something you would need to walk before you could kind of, come with a number or?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. We do have it at 270 right now. Does that seem like in your experience with the area kind of feasible so long as everything checks out?
I don't really know that area that well.
Okay.
That's fair. It's under 100 a foot, so it's interesting.
Got it.
I just don't know. I don't know how much that area is transitioned. That is a really dicey part of Dallas over the history.
Yeah.
Midway Hollow is just east of there, and it's been transitioning rapidly over the last 10 years.
Got it.
So I just don't know how far it's gone.
Gotcha. Cool. Okay. Well, yeah, let's take a look at it. Let me know what you need. When is it appropriate for me to reach back out to you on this one specifically? I'll email you the other stuff right after we get off this call, but or probably 10, 15 minutes up.
On that one too. I'll just drag it on my calendar. I'll try to get out there tomorrow's Friday.
Yeah.
Either Friday or Saturday.
Okay. So I can follow up with you probably mid-Saturday, and you probably have more or less an answer for me on this one. Sunday. Okay, and it's cool. It's okay that I call on Sunday. I know.
Yeah, you can shoot me a note. Just text me first.
Okay.
Stuff, and I'll let you know.
Gotcha. Okay, we'll do. And I'll let you know if it sells before then. More than likely it will, but I still, again, want to give you the fair shot at it and all that good stuff. So, if there's any way you can let me know sooner, then do that. If not, it's all good. We'll try to work that other one too, and we'll get something on the books together. Okay.
Appreciate it.
Yep. You too, sir. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
All right.
There we go.
Try to sell them a whole different deal, dude.
Hey, no, hey, that's a testament though, right there. Like you got to be flexible with these deals. If that one doesn't work, like, hey, what else can I sell you? You looking to, you know what I mean? You looking to sell something yourself or whatever it may be. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, not even that. The stuff that he told me that he did, the commercial like for pension funds, like that's exactly who needs to buy that other deal. You know what I mean? Like I got a hold of there's a REIT called Realty One. I got a hold of those guys for the deal on that, and they weren't able to do it because they were like, ah, it's too small, man. We're not gonna mess with it. We want something stabilized already. So you know, get if you can find a smaller or mid tier guy like that that might take something, then let's go. You know, I'd rather him buy that deal than this one, to be honest.
Hey, nah, I hear you on that. Yeah, that's crazy though. That's what's up. Yeah, I think that that's a true testament that you always got to be selling the next deal, selling the next deal. You know, like if it's not this one, sell them something else. Like hell, you know what I mean? It's not going to necessarily be this deal. Every deal is not going to be the one that they convert on, but keeping that relationship going and also keeping that urgency involved at the same time. I love it.
I think that's a big thing when you start really getting into like, hey, we're doing a little bit of volume, and you know, in maybe the same market or what have you, right? It's buyer management. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I know this buyer typically pays this for these deals. I have one of these deals. Let me see if I can get this buyer on this one. I know he'll buy this deal, but this deal has a smaller spread on it. So let me see if I can get a new guy in there to potentially build a relationship, make my money on the guy that I know could, you know what I mean? So it's a lot of buyer management, you know, once you're really getting into it, too, once you get that list going. So
That's a fact.
It's a relationship game, you know. It's you're selling expensive shit, and there's going to be the first time you interact with everybody. It's about being able to make the absolute most of every interaction so that you know how to capitalize further on down the line.
Absolutely.
100%.
Israel asked a question just a few minutes ago. He said, what is your view of myhousedeals.com? Is it worth posting my deals there? Are they Investorlift's biggest competitors or not really? My honest answer is this is my first time ever hearing about them. So
Okay. Ed, you got anything on that, dude?
Oh man, like you know what's crazy? Like my house deals, right? So like I post deals on Investorlift all the time. My house deals sent me an email like, "Hey, I saw this deal on Investorlift. Can I post it on our site?" I was like, so they're basically just literally snagging Investorlift deals and stuff like that and trying to get extra properties onto their platform. I've literally never like, I don't think I've ever like logged into it or anything like that or whatever. I wouldn't, honestly, to be 100% honest, I don't really think that there is any real competition. I've had several companies reach out to me, like personally me, like, oh yeah, will you promote our like Dispo stuff? And I'm just like, no, it's trash. Like compared to this, I mean, compared to Investor, I'm sorry, I'm just being honest. So that's why you never heard me talk about it or whatever, because I mean, if they're stealing deals off of Investorlift, you might as well just use Investorlift. That's kind of how I think about it.
Oh, and I was gonna say something very similar to that. Like they with me, it's to the point to where like I'll get an email that's like your property on 123 Main Street is going live on my house deals, and I was like, what the like who what?
Yes.
Like I have no idea. I didn't tell anybody to do it. I didn't give anybody permission, like nothing. And then
Yeah.
they'll send
That
me
just
emails
happened to
like,
us.
hey, like a deal that I had already sold. They'll be like, this one's about to expire. And to be honest, I don't even pay attention to it. I'm like, let it, I don't care. Like I'm gonna let it do its thing on your platform because I have actually at the very beginning when we first started using Investorlift, we did have those people reach out and say, hey, could I do this? So again,
Same.
like when you're talking about like a JV relationship, you don't know much about the person, whatever. I'm like, all right, cool. You can do something, but like make sure you put your finger on top, make sure this, like. But then it got to the point where I had to call that person and say, hey, dude, can you take this off? Take it down. Like I don't want you to do this anymore. And I've had to make that call a couple times, and now I just don't even do it. Like I've gotten where they have taken some deals and put it up there. It is what it is.
Yeah, so boom, there you go, Israel. That was a great question.
Yeah, but I don't really know much about them other than that, how much they actually get sold off of it. I know I don't use it, and I know that to be 100% honest, it's kind of annoying sometimes when I get those emails, but
Same.
it is what it is.
Same. I'm like, how the hell is my property going live? I didn't post it anywhere else. Like,
Right.
that's so weird.
I don't know. I've never heard of them. That's crazy. Okay, good to know.
Oh, okay. I guess Miracle head up out of here. Yeah, I think Miracle's okay. Anyway, but yeah, okay. And then it looks like we got one more question. What does it say? So typically, once I get my deal and blast it out to Investorlift and cold call my buyers, it should be gone within a few days, or else it's not a good deal. This is from Jarrell.
In its current state. I mean, when you're doing this, you're going to be getting feedback from everybody you're talking to. You're not just going to be making calls and then just ignoring everything they're telling you. you're going to be getting information, and there's going to be a theme. If it's not getting sold, it's for a reason. Either price is too high, there's too many issues, access isn't easy enough. There's going to be something going on with it. Maybe there's just not enough buyers in the area. Like, there's going to be something going on with it. You're going to start to get the gist of it, and then you can adapt from there. So either you need to get a price reduction, you got to have a different strategy, maybe you got to get better photos. That's something that is actually incredibly underrated. On Investorlift, we did this study. We took properties that weren't selling on the platform, and what we did is we handled the marketing for it, where we had this tried and true process. What we did is we use this company called Home Jab, and they have this package for like $279 where you go and get 50 photos, and they do a video walkthrough of the property. Just by adding these high quality photos of the property and the video walkthrough, on average, we were increasing assignment fees by $10,000 just by doing that, which is nuts.
That is.
So you're going to get a general sense of why it's not so.
Right. And I think that's
In depth.
it's not too much spoken about or whatever, like the quality, like the value of pictures, videos. I think Robert, like when I was interviewing him, he said that like properties with pictures and videos sell faster and for more money. I mean, so it's like you can't beat that, but maybe that's not the situation. Maybe you do have pics and videos. Like Liam said, like the area can have a big part of that. And like I typically know, like once I post a deal on Investorlift, I swear, like I usually know within like a matter of like hours, like whether this deal is gonna go or not. It's like, okay, this is another one. It's gonna go. Like it's almost guaranteed if it's getting a certain amount of traction, and there's no hidden BS that you have going on with the deal. Let's put it like that.
Yep.
If you're super knowledgeable like Steve, and you've got all the information, you're putting it out there, and you've laid it out in the description a lot of times as well, people be calling you trying to verify some things, but they'll move quickly if you're knowledgeable and you have everything right there, and there's no hidden BS. But yeah, a lot of different factors. That was a great question though, Drew. Great question. But yeah, okay. Look, Eddie got the fire emojis. That's my man's. But yeah, okay.
Well, guys, we gone past the 5 o'clock mark. We didn't get the deal sold, but I think that with the calls you had, once these people get access, this thing's getting sold within the next couple of days. I'm not too worried about it. That thing sounds like it's going.
That thing is as good as gone already. Sounds like the price points make a lot of sense and whatnot. That's a lot of meat on that bone. It sounds like.
Yep.
And if everything else fails, you can sell it for $213, Steve. So you got that one guy.
Got about $7,000, dude. Let's go.
It came up a whole 7,000. That's crazy.
Dude,
yeah,
well,
man,
phenomenal.
great,
Ed, dude, thanks for popping in here with your community. This is something that you guys, this is the very first one of these we've ever done. So we're figuring out the format. We're figuring out how we want to get it done. So we will be back with you guys because, we love Ed. Ed's one of our favorite partners in the entire space.
Nice.
And so can't wait to be doing more of these. And this time we were selling one of our deals. We really wanted to sell one of your guys' deals. We just didn't get it lined up properly. We didn't have the right communication on our side to get that coordinated properly. So next time, it's not going to be one of our deals we're selling. We will be selling one of your guys' deals. And so that is going to be the end goal. But we'll be back here before long and trying to provide value any way we can. So yeah, that's what I got for you.
Hey man, I hope that y'all was taking notes, man, as Steve and Liam, all of us out here dropping some gems for y'all. Steve making these phone calls, I'm not gonna lie, I took a lot of notes, man, so I really appreciate you, for real. I really, really mean that. Like, man, you about to have our Dispo game going crazy, for real. Just like a few little tidbits, I took it from it already. So I do appreciate you guys having me on here and whatnot to be able to do this very first Investorlift Dispo day, like outside of the Closer Olympics. You know what I'm saying? It's a super honor. I do appreciate it. And man, I'm looking forward to doing a lot more things together, man, for real. 100%.
Well, looking forward to it. All right, man. I got to hop off. I got 5 minutes late for my other meeting, but it was really lovely hanging out with you guys, and we'll be in touch with everybody soon.
Bang, bang, bang. All right, guys.
All right, guys.
Yeah. Until next time.
Peace.